It's a long and winding story with an intricate plot that raises 1,001 questions. Tough questions still begging for answers. So much has been written and said about the story. Newspapers have dissected it many times over. Even some of the protagonists have found it very difficult to cope with the heat.
What kind of country is this? If you are in a family, which I won't let you rest. If you are at the national level, media won't let you rest when you want to. When would you amount to anything in Nigeria?
It's the story of the Police Equipment Fund. It began sometime in 2004. Three men, Joseph Agarite, now late, Ibrahim Emmanuel Dumuje, and Gobson Ewulum, came together for the sole purpose of raising funds to ostensibly help to equip a badly funded Nigeria police. Their plan was to partner with the federal government to actualize the goal, but then went on to sign this participation agreement on the 15th of June of that year, agreeing to pursue the project and share equally among themselves 10% of whatever was eventually raised. The target was to raise 100 million naira. They also agreed to use Nigel Stark, a private company owned by Agarite, to pursue the project. Sequel to the signing of the agreement, both Joseph Agarite and Ibrahim Dumuje had sent a proposal to the Inspector General of Police at the time, Mr. Tafa Balogun, seeking to help raise 100 million naira through public donation for the sole purpose of buying body armor for the police. Series of correspondence would subsequently be exchanged between the police and the parties who were by now operating under the name of Nigel Stark.
The only thing that binding us with Nigel Stark is a partnership deed, memorandum of understanding between me, Dumuje, and Agarite.
I was one person who was always giving them a guide. When I said them, I mean Godson Ewulum, Ibrahim Dumuje, and Agarite. How did I get to know them? At the first PRO. When they came to the first PRO, they were in the office of Olakwe, who was the first PRO then. And for the kind of thing I do for the police was crime fighters, they felt I've been around with the police for a while and I'll be able to give them a guide on what to do. And that was how I got into the whole picture.
Before much headway could be made with the proposal, Tafa Balogun was removed as the Inspector General of Police. Things then grounded to a halt, at least for a while. But then months later, Chief Kenny Martins walked into the picture. Who actually brought him in is a subject of controversy.
Martins now said, yes, something came to my mind. I can't imagine presenting this project to Obasanjo. I don't think the money is carrying is enough. Let us upgrade it because there is a lot to do for the police. We can't stock ourselves to body armor.
Working with Chief Martins, the entire idea was amended. The proposed fund was jacked up to 100 billion naira, and the items to be purchased was amended to include body armor, helicopter, and other essential equipment. Disaster, however, struck 2 months later. In October 2005, Evangelist Joseph Agarite, the sole chairman and owner of Nigel Stark, whose company was being used to drive the proposal, died in the ill-fated Bellevue plane crash. But that did not stop his company from still being used to pursue the project.
Ibrahim Dumuje continued to sign all the correspondence going to government as the chairman of Nigel Stark. Nigel Stark was a company owned by Agarite that made this proposal to government. At that point, Ibrahim Dumuje was not a member of Nigel Stark, either as a shareholder or as a director or even executive director. But he was signing all the correspondence on behalf of Nigel Stark as the chairman of Nigel Stark.
This memorandum of understanding was subsequently signed between the federal government and Nigel Stark to guide the operation of the Presidential Committee on Police Equipment Fund. The MOU was signed by a representative of the Ministry of Police Affairs. Ibrahim Dumuje and Chief Johnny Uchaga signed for Nigel Stark, the regional company owned by the late Joseph Agarite. Mr. Dumuje actually signed as chairman of Nigel Stark when in fact he was not even a member of the company. The date was 14th March 2006, about 6 months after the founder and chairman of Nigel Stark, Joseph Agarite, had died in that Bellevue plane crash. Chief Kenny Martins signed as a witness. On the same day, the Minister of Police Affairs inaugurated the Presidential Committee on Police Equipment Fund. Something bizarre, however, happened shortly thereafter. Chief Kenny Martins, who had earlier signed the MOU as a witness, was appointed National Coordinator of the Fund. Yet, that position does not exist on the membership of the committee as contained in the MOU.
The Niger Stark, who were the driving force of this whole arrangement, decided that they needed a national coordinator. And so they approached us and submitted his name to us that they wanted him to be a national coordinator.
Who are the people who approached you?
The Dumuje and Uwelum. I didn't see Uwelum, but Dumuje was there.
But Chief Martins at the time was not a board member of Nigel Stark. By this time also, Ibrahim Dumuje had been appointed Deputy National Coordinator representing Nigel Stark. He too was not a part of the company. These two incidents would mark the beginning of the disregard for the MOU. On the 31st of March 2006, after the inauguration of the committee, another bizarre and mysterious incident happened. Nigel Stark, the company owned by the late Joseph Agarite, issued this memo to the Corporate Affairs Commission, informing it that Chief Kenny Martins, Ibrahim Dumuje, and Mrs. Dora Agarite, widow of the late Joseph Agarite, have been appointed directors of the company. The memo says the decision was taken at an extraordinary general meeting of the company on the 31st of March 2006. But mysteriously, that memo was signed by the late Joseph Agarite, who had died 6 months before. Even the Form C07 issued by the Corporate Affairs Commission on the same date had the name and signature of the late Agarite, as well as two other regional directors of the company, Kelly Agarite and Ehis Obeide. Yet another strange issue is that the acceptance forms of both Chief Kenny Martins and Ibrahim Dumuje did not carry their regular signature. For instance, this is the regular signature of Mr. Dumuje, but this is the signature on the acceptance form.
If you look at the agreement, the resolution appointing Kenny Martins and Dumuje as directors of Niger Stark, in order to make them signatories to the account of the Presidential Committee as nominees of Niger Stark, they needed to get into the board of Niger Stark. And so they forged a resolution, forged the signature of Agarite, forged all the documents, making them members of Niger Stark.
We placed a call to the widow of the late Joseph Agarite to confirm this development, but the effort yielded nothing. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way you could oblige us to have an interview with you, madam.
Concerning what?
It's on this, the Police Equipment Fund, about an extraordinary meeting held by Nigel Stark sometime in 2006 on the 31st of March. So we want to find out from you, madam, if you were actually there at that meeting and what actually happened.
Is that what the article states?
Yes, we just want to confirm from you.
So I'm in this school right now.
What did you say,
I'll
madam?
tell you when I'm ready.
You let me know when you're ready.
Yes.
But was any meeting like that held at all?
Huh?
Was there any meeting that you attended on the 31st of March 2006 where you took...
I will tell you when I'm ready to discuss with you.
I don't know if it will be possible next week.
I hope You are learned enough. I said I will tell you when I'm ready to discuss with you.
But that was the last time we could reach her. We tried without success to get an interview with Chief Kenny Martins. We placed a call to him but did not get a desired response. That phone call was recorded, and here is the playback. Hello, good evening, sir. Yeah, my name is Deji, sir. I'm calling from Channels Television, sir. Yes, sir. We just would love to have an interview with you, sir, on this controversy trailing the police equipment. Would love to have an interview with you, sir, on the controversy trailing the police equipment fund, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. This is the guy who called you from Channels Television, sir.
Don't call my line again. Is it by force? What's your stress?
But, sir, it would be nice if you could just talk to us, sir. We also took up Mr. Ibrahim Dumuje over the matter. We placed a phone call to him as well. Good morning, sir. My name is Deji. I'm calling from Channels TV, sir.
Yeah.
We would love to have an interview with you, sir, just on the police equipment fund, sir. We tried again, but this time the same voice tended to be someone else.
Hello?
Hello, sir. I think the network had a problem also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you want to talk to?
I want to speak with Prince Dumuje.
Hello?
Am I speaking to Prince Dumuje, please?
No, guys in the meeting.
He's in a meeting.
Hello?
Hello?
Guys in the meeting.
Ah.
We're feeling maybe 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. I'll call back then.
Right?
Days later, we tried Mr. Dumuje, but no show.
This
Part of the enormous controversy this entire project has generated, and the several petitions that have been written against the operators of the project, no formal investigation has been instituted against anyone or the fund by the anti-corruption agencies.
I wrote to the Federal Executive Council, I wrote to the President Commander-in-Chief, I wrote to the Attorney General of the Federation, I wrote to the ICPC, I wrote to the EFCC, I wrote to the police, I wrote to all the embassies. All the government agencies, no one replied because they had given cars to all of them to compromise them. EFCC did not reply, ICPC did not reply, SSS did not reply. I wrote to the SSS, so SSS did not reply. Immigration, they gave them cars. Customs, they gave them cars. All of them, they gave them cars. The only body that they did not give cars to at that time was the ICPC. And it was only the ICPC that replied that we are looking into the matter.
It was partly in our bid to resolve this puzzle that we sent a letter to the EFCC requesting to know, among other issues, if indeed it got a petition from Mr. Keyamo, and if it did, why it had not said anything yet. The spokesman told us that the commission did not receive any complaint from Mr. Keyamo. But somehow we got hold of this said petition. It is dated the 2nd of October 2007. Addressed to the chairman of the EFCC, it was stamped and acknowledged received by the commission on the same date.
This kind of spectacle that is going on is terrible for the police, and for some of us who spent 5 years or so in trying to do our best for the police, we are deeply saddened.
Many questions are begging for answers in this whole idea of raising funds to change the face of the Nigeria police. As we seek answers, one big fact holds sway. Nothing has significantly changed for our police force. It is groaning under the yoke of underfunding. Yet, the whole idea of the Police Equipment Fund was to address this main problem. The way things have turned out leaves one wondering about the intention of the three wise men who started this whole idea back in June 2004. What exactly their motive.